Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Yeah, that's what it's gonna come down to. How far you willing to go? What you willing to do to protect you? And that's all it's gonna come down to in prison, because the talking part is over. Once you get behind that wall, then that's it. Ain't no, what I would know, you gonna have to show that. And that's real. That's real as it get. It's coming in there, at all different angles. So you can align yourself with different people. You may run into people in there that you know, but everybody gonna have to stand up on your own 2 feet in prison. There ain't no mama, ain't no daddy, ain't no brother, none of that. You got to stand up on your own too when you in there. That's it. 10 toes in the dirt and make your mark, set your mark and enforce it. If you're not willing to do that, anything can possibly happen to you. When I was in the wall as well, man, they had a dude in there, they come in all forms. They had a dude in there that's supposed to be, he's supposed to be a homosexual. He was real big though, real big and buff. And they say he was approaching the young dudes. He wasn't on the side that I was on, thank God, because if he ever came to me with that type of situation, y'all probably would never have seen me. You know what I'm saying? Probably would have never have seen me, because I would have dealt with it emphatically. But the rumor was that, like say he was a big old buff homosexual, and when he saw a little young dude that he liked, he would approach him with that foolishness, and depending upon how they reacted, he would straight, boom, knock him out. And they say he was knocking them out, and then he would, perform all on them while they was knocked out. You understand? Straight like that. Yeah, this is prison. This is how they carrying it in there. This is real. Not no TV stuff. This is real life. Your life when you behind that wall. Those are some of the type of things you may have to deal with. You see what I'm saying? So if you ain't built for that, then prison ain't for you. Period. And like I said, it's so many different incidents that I can remember, so many different altercations, man. Things that occurred, things that happened in there when, dudes was faced with these type of situations. And then, like I say, you could come in there for robbery, or you could come in there for just selling drugs. You may have never been involved in any type of violence. You might have just been a drug dealer on the street. You might have been just trying to chase that money, get that money. You see what I'm saying? So you may have never had to put no work in, do no type of violence, especially no hands-on violence without a gun. Hands-on, it's hands-on in prison. Ain't no guns in prison, it's hands-on. You're going to have to pick that Bethlehem up to defend yourself, and you just may get that taken away from you if you don't know what you're doing. You just may get it taken away from you. You just may get somebody who rock with the dude that you going at, and he may come from your blind side. You see what I'm saying? All of that is possible in prison. So if you ain't built for that type of life, then prison ain't the place that you need to be. Period. That's real. And like I say, dudes in there, man, they got a different type of mindset. They got a different type of philosophy, especially the dudes that's been in there a long time and been in there enough time that they know how they living, and they done already chose their path in prison. They done chose their path in life, and that's how they living. And it ain't nothing you can say that's going to change that. It's just something that you're going to have to do to change their mind and get their mind off of you and get their mind on somebody else. But like I say, you could just be a dude that was selling drugs or whatever, and you come in there and they know you got money. Dudes might just want to lean on you to extort you, straight up. Or you could be a dude that they say in the newspaper or something, when your case was in the newspaper, or people know that you snitched and you told, and then you come in there and dudes want to extort you. They gonna make you pay them, or either you getting up off of the compound or getting up off of that block. Man, you might got multiple dudes trying to extort you. Multiple dudes. I can remember just being in Nottaway right before I made parole. It was a dude in there, they found out he was snitching. And he happened to be in the cell with a gang member, right? So the gang members had got the word off the street that he was supposed to be snitching. Now he in the cell with the gang member dude, and the gang member dude is cool with him. They cool, they rocking together, they eating together, they going to chow together, they sitting out in the party, they kicking together. But now this information come down to them that this dude's supposed to be a snitch. So the gang members tell the dude that's in the cell with him, you got to take care of that. He in the cell with you. You got, you know what I'm saying? So this is the crazy life, I'm telling you, man. So I can remember when they gave him that order. Now, he's in that gang, so he has to follow that order or he going to be dealt with. See what I'm saying? Now, this supposed to be his buddy. He cool with him. But now, he's in a rock and a hard place. This not only your seller, this is a dude that you claim to be cool with, but then this is your affiliation. So they gave him the order. He ain't had no choice. And I can remember them going in the cell, and it was rec time. It was doing rec time, but they went in the cell. He called his celly upstairs to come in the cell. So when the celly came upstairs to go in the cell, they in there talking, but everybody's up there looking at the cell because everybody else know what's going on besides him, right? The information that came in, and he's a snitch. So everybody know what's going on besides him. So he goes up to the cell, and all the little gang dudes is down there standing up there looking up at the cell and see what, their partner gonna do, his celly, the gang member. So they talking, and I guess he telling them more or less that, man, people say you snitching and da. He's like, no, man, no, homie, that ain't true, woo, because they from the same place. That's why they cool. So, man, he was like, man, look, man, if you snitching, just let me know. Did you tell on somebody, la. He's like, nah. So dudes is looking down there at him, the gang members thinking like, you doing too much talking. They looking like you doing too much talking, man. Do something. So he just take off on him. Boom, boom, boom. Just take off. Start punching him in his stuff. So they punching him in his face, and he fall down and bag up outside the door. And he telling him, no, come on back in. Come on back in. He said, man, what you doing this for? What you doing this for? He said, man, come on back in. Now the gang dudes is down there standing at the bottom. They looking up at him like, you better go back in there or we coming up there. So he ain't got no choice now but to fight this dude or fight these dudes. You see what I'm saying? Fight him or fight these dudes. So he trying to go back in, but he ain't got no fight in him. He try to run back in there, dudes just bang him up again. Boom, boom, boom. Now, next thing you know, you see him reaching outside the door, trying to pull himself outside the door. He's holding on to the door frame, trying to get outside the door. And you see dude just raining punches down on him and grabbing his shirt and trying to pull him back inside the cell so they can get the door closed and they just both be in there by themselves. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up pulling them back in the cell. That one of the gang dudes go up to the booth and tell them to close the door. They close the door. He in there banging them up. You know what I'm saying? Beating them down. And they go up there, they looking in the cell and everything. No, hit him. Keep on beating him. So he beating the dog snot out old boy in the cell. So then when he finished beating him, boom, they tell him, look, you either gonna pay us or you gonna check out. You can stay in here, but you got to pay. Every time commissary come, we want this amount of money. We got to have this, we got to have that. Ain't nobody else gonna bother you, but we got to have this, we got to have that. He started paying him. Straight like that. He started paying him because he felt like he had no choice. Not only is he paying him now, he living in the cell with the dude that put hands on him. So I guess that became too much for him. He did it for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then the next thing you know, he checked in and went on to jail. He went on to jail. Now, I don't know how much time he had. I don't know how much longer bit he had to do. But now that's going to follow him everywhere he go. So he think he getting away from the situation. But in actuality, he's going somewhere else. And that word going to travel. It's going to travel by kite, by mail, by whatever. It's going to travel. And wherever he get, he going to be faced with the same situation again. This same situation again. It don't stop. You see what I'm saying? So these are just real prison situations that you're going to have to deal with. And if you ain't got that in you, then, man, you in trouble. You in trouble. Once you put yourself in the system, if you ain't got that in you, you in trouble, man. Straight up. And like I say, it's just multiple situations that's coming to my mind right now. I'm just telling y'all these things off the top of my head because I felt like this morning that I wanted to talk about this subject. And it's crazy, man. It's just a real crazy type of life. And when I look back on the things that I had to go through in 33 years, the things I've seen, the things I've experienced, it's mind-boggling to me. When people say how you do 33 years, I ask myself that sometimes. But it was day by day, situation by situation, incident by incident. I just dealt with it as it came up, and this is what you got to do to get through this type of life. But this is not the type of life that you want to live. And that's my whole point from doing these 33 years of prison stories, to let you young fellas know this ain't the type of life you want to live, man. Chaos, confusion, violence, larceny. It's just too much. It's too much, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming to people. You know what I'm saying? Overwhelming to most, and they succumb to the pressure. And then you become something that you don't want to become. You know, you become something that you don't want to become. So you have to be able to compartmentalize all of this stuff, man. And you have to be able to deal with these situations as they come, man. And this is a horrible, horrible, I tell you, life to live. Trust me, you know. And like I said, the list goes on and on of the things I've seen, man, the things I've witnessed. I can remember this dude, man, and I know this dude, and I ain't gonna say his name or whatever, but I can remember this dude. He was out there in the block one day, and he had just got out of the hole, and he had been in the hole for almost 2 years, right? And he was telling dudes why he was in the hole. And the reason why he was in the hole was because he had a little young dude came in the cell with him. And at this time, I think he had been locked up probably about 18 years. So he got the little young dude in the cell with him just coming in. Dude like 20, 21 years old. And he could sense that the dude's scared and the dude is, you know, not familiar with his surroundings, and he just starting his time or whatever. Why they put him in the cell with him, I don't know. At one point in time, they had a criteria to put you in the cell with people, but they did that when the system started getting overflowed. You going in the cell with whoever they put in the cell with you. If you don't like it, then you going to jail. That's just the way it goes. So they put the little young boy in the cell with him, so he sensed that the little young boy was scared. So he had been locked up for 18. He got God knows however long to go. So he's seeing that the young boy's scared. He done, you know, verbally tried him with little different words and little different sayings and little different comments. And he done read by the dude's reaction that he not built like that, and he not really responding the way to keep him up off of him. So one night in particular, he felt compelled to try the young boy, because he been drinking. He done had that wine in him. He done got the feeling himself. So he said the dude was on the top bunk. He on the bottom bunk. So he said he get it in his mind one night he gonna try the dude, because he feel like the dude is you know, he ready. He right for the pickings, you know. So he said he gets up there at night, and the dude up on the top bunk when he sleep. He said he climbs up the ladder, right? Gets up on the top bunk with the dude. And in his words, he said the dude was asleep, but when he got up there, he felt like the dude was awake, but the dude was too scared to act like he was awake. So he said he crawled up on top of this dude and got the Bethlehem in his mouth like some scuba diving stuff. He got the Bethlehem in his mouth, and he said he crawled up over top of the dude, and he started inching the dude's boxes down. So while he inching the dude's boxes down, he said the dude is laying there acting like he's asleep, but he feel like the dude is awake, but he's scared. So he said the dude look up and say, "What you doing, man? What's up?" He said he take the Bethlehem out of his mouth and say, "You dreaming. Go back to sleep, or either I'm going to put this in your ear." Right? And the dude is so terrified and petrified, he just put his head back down in the pillow and let dude do what he do. And he did it, and climbed on off the bed and got back down in his bunk and slept as if he won't even in no danger, because he had already put the fear of God in dude and did what he did to him. You see what I'm saying? But that dude got up that next morning and was so petrified and horrified by what had happened to him, he goes straight to the people and tell them what happened, and tell him he wanted to go to jail. He's scared, he petrified, or whatever. Dude ended up getting locked up and getting a charge. They gave him a charge, gave him a street charge. He ended up being in the hole 2 years, and he ended up catching more time for what he did to the dude. That just, you know, that's reality. See, things like that happen in prison, but a lot of people don't talk about it. That's reality. Now, you got a lot of dudes that's sitting back and probably watching this and saying, oh, I would have did this, I would have did that. Would you? Would you have fought? Would you have took the chance on getting that Bethlehem stuck through your ear? Would you took the chance on getting that Bethlehem put up in you? Or would you have submitted to what he wanted to do to you? Those are the only two options you had. Fight or submit to that. He chose to submit because either he was scared of what would happen to him or either he just, didn't want to fight. Either or. But that's what happened to him. He eventually went and told it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I heard he tried to put a lawsuit on the people, whatever. Putting a lawsuit against the Department of Corrections is almost like a 1 in a million chances that you're going to prevail. No matter what, because they're going to try to put it and shape it the way that they want it to be shaped. And no matter what happens with the lawsuit, it's not going to take away from what happened to you in that cell. That's done. That's over with. You see what I'm saying? And like I say, it's sad, but it's true. But once your man has been taken in, you ain't going to get that back. You ain't going to get it back. It's gone. You see what I'm saying? So no type of compensation, monetary or otherwise, is going to bring that back to you. None of it. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things that you're facing when you're up in that penitentiary. Yeah, that's what you're facing all day, every day. And like I say, it's omnipresent, man. The danger, the threat, it's in there. All the time. All the time. It ain't no getting around it. And like I say, if this ain't the type of life, if this is not the type of life that you prepared to live, stay on the street. Stay on the street. I'm telling you. And it comes in all forms. It comes in all forms. Another dude that comes to my mind, dude they used to call Big Red. Right? And sometimes prey become predator. Right? Prey becomes predator. I can remember running into this dude named Big Red, and a big dude, real big dude, tall, probably about 6'3". At the time I met him, about 6'3", about 240. Solid. Solid as I don't know what, big old light-skinned dude. And from looks of him, you would not even know his story. You would not know anything about him. You know what I'm saying? Just off of looks alone. I can remember him being in the visiting room, with me and with a dude that I knew, and his people had came up to see him, his sisters and everything. And I can remember he telling me that his sister then was asking him who was dude because they was attracted to dude because, he got the look where they felt like he was a handsome dude, big, chest sticking out, muscles everywhere. And, I guess to a female, he was attracted. To me, like I already told you, every dude is ugly, unattractive, me included. You know what I'm saying? But I guess to a female, he looked attracted to them. But I can remember him telling me that he was telling them, oh, nah, you boom, boom, bloom, what he was about, whatever. And they was like appalled. They was like shocked. Or they didn't believe him, thought that he was just talking. But that's just because they don't know this different lifestyle that's in prison. They don't know this is a microcosm of the real world. People in here is living in a different life. You see what I'm saying? But Big Red was a dude that they had said that when he first came in, at the time I met him, he had been locked up a minute. So they were saying when he first came in, he just was a tall, lanky, light-skinned dude, young, and they took advantage of him, right? And now, years later, he done, bulked up and whatever, and now he's turned around and imposed that on other dudes. Mostly he had a fetish for little young white dudes. So what he would do is he would get in the cell with these little young white dudes and talk all nice to him, and they looking at his statue and how big he was, and he would tell him he'd protect him, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you, da. But when he get in there, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to, freak off with him, and he, do vice versa. He let him do him, he do them. So they felt like they was safe in there, even if they wanted to participate in that or not. They was doing it more or less for the protection. You see what I'm saying? And then I don't know if it made him feel a certain type of way because he won't just doing that to him. To them, he was letting them do that to him. But when you look at this dude, you would never be able to detect that from the naked eye. And he walked around all around the compound chest sticking all out. He had a whole crazy walk. He walked on his tiptoes and everything. And he was known to fight. He was known to fight, and you would have to be able to put some work in to deal with him, you know what I'm saying? Because he was a big dude, and he would rumble. And he would pick that Bethlehem up if needed be. You see what I'm saying? But that's what he was into. That was his thing. That's what he was into, you know? And he be down on him. I mean, he ain't play no games. And when he didn't have nobody, he looking for somebody. You know what I'm saying? And he looking. And, you know, these, like I say, these are prison circumstances. These are things that go on in prison every single day, you know, 24/7, 365. But like I said, a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people watch these TV shows. A lot of people listen to people who don't come out here and talk about these type of things, or they listen to rumors, and they don't really know what's going on in prison. But it's a lot going on in there. There's a lot going on there. But the number one thing going on in there is protecting your life, protecting your manhood, trying to get back out on these streets intact, you know, intact, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And that is an everyday job, 24/7, no breaks. Every day, you got to be on point like icicles all the time, because you don't know who's coming at you and you don't know what they're coming at you for. But when they do, you have to be prepared. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And like I say, all of these things is lessons about prison, but all of these things is things that you don't even have to go through. These are things that you don't want to have to go through. These things you don't want to have to deal with, but you will have to in prison, one way or another. You could just have a cell partner. Somebody could be leaning on your celly, which is automatically going to bring that drama to your cell. You see what I'm saying? I can remember being on the bus when I was going to Nottoway, I believe it was, the first time that I went to Nottoway. And it was about 3 or 4 little young dudes on the bus with us. And it was a young dude that he was from up my way, Northern Virginia. I think he was from Alexandria or something. But he was a little whacked out on drugs. Drugs had messed him up on the street. So he was a little confused, you know. But he was a good little young dude, man. He was a little confused, but he you know what I'm saying, he had a good heart, you know what I'm saying? He just was lost. So I can remember when we got on the compound and everything, and he wanted them drugs so bad that this older dude that's been in there that has been locked up a long time, man. I think the dude had been locked up almost 40 years. And the dude was pushing 60-something. And he preyed on little young dudes like him. So I remember him getting the little dude some drugs that he was trying to get, and the little dude was you know, appreciative. He was getting high. That's what he wanted to do. And I can remember the other dudes that came, because it was like 4 of us that came off of that same bus. They put us all in the same block. So we all knew each other from the block. I was the oldest one at the time, and I wasn't even that old, but I was older than these young dudes. They was just coming in the system. So I can remember them come telling me that the old dude had old little youngin', you know, on the drugs and everything, and he was trying to, you know, do some stuff to the young dude. And then the young dude was willing to do it to get the drugs. And I remember they was telling me that because they was trying to talk to him and say, man, you crazy. And you know, the dude that basically done talked him into saying, look, man, I'm gonna keep getting you the drugs, but you know, you gotta do something for me, you know what I'm saying? And it was sexual stuff, and dude was like, man, it ain't, that's it, that's all, I can't buy it, no, that's what. And he was willing to do it because he wanted to get high that bad. You know, not knowing that he gonna throw his life away, that he throwing his manhood away, that he can't get that back. He not looking at that, he looking at the drugs. And he looking at the game that the dude is running on. You know, so I can remember when they told me, they were like, man, you better talk to dude, man, he tripping. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what? And they was telling me, and I was like, man, I was, you know, and this, I'm like, still shocked by this. Because I couldn't believe that a young dude coming off the street would be that naive or that desperate that he want drugs, that he would do that. So I remember going, talking to him and asking him, what's up, man? You know, because I felt like the old dude was tricking him or putting pressure on him. So I was asking him, And he was like, man, he ain't making me do nothing. He ain't making me do nothing. But, you know, and I'm like, man, look, you know you ain't got to do none of that type of stuff, bro. You know, you need to try to get up off the drugs. You need to try to get yourself together, man. You ain't got that much time. You going back out on the street. You don't want to do nothing that's going to change your life, bro. And he was like, man, I'm all right. But he was high when I was talking to him, you know, and I could see. So I was so kind of irritated about this. I pull up on the older dude, which was, I'm out of bounds. I'll be the first one to tell you I'm out of pocket because it ain't my business. But I was kind of like making it my business. And at the time, I couldn't even really stand that type of pressure. I couldn't stand to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to not away from Powhatan for some fake investigation about messing with a female CO. They done tricked me up off of there. So I can't really stand to be getting in trouble. I'm trying to get myself together, trying to get up out of prison. But at the same time, I'm putting myself in somebody else's business. I'm also... When you do that, you put yourself in harm's way. But it was something that compelled me to do it. So I pull up on the older dude, and I'm like, man, what's up? And he was like, what's up? I knew of him, but didn't actually know him. Never really had, you know what I'm saying, contact, but I knew his name and I knew of him. And I know, you know what I'm saying, he had a little reputation in prison over the years, but, you know, he was an older cat now. But, you know, your reputation, you know, carries with you. You know, if you did something, you probably will do something. So I'm like, man, you know, what's up with little youngin', man? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that's like my little homeboy, man. They say you know, you running a little game on him, man. You trying to use the fact that he like to get high to do this, that, and the third, whatever. And he straight up told me, you know what I'm saying, what I got to do with it. He said, what you got to do with it? You know what I'm saying? I said, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just telling you, you know what I'm saying, man, you older, man. You supposed to be teaching these young dudes instead of trying to curry these young dudes or try to trick these young dudes. He was like, man, I ain't trying to hurt that. I ain't trying to hurt that, man. You ain't got nothing to do with this. I ain't making young boy do nothing that he don't want to do. You ain't got nothing to do with this, man. And you coming to my cell bringing this stuff to me, talking about somebody else. You ain't got nothing to do with this, man. You should know this. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with it. But I'm making myself have something to do with it. I'm just asking you, bro, leave the dude alone, man. He a youngin'. You know what I'm saying? Help the dude. Don't try to hurt the dude. He was like, man, I ain't trying to hurt, man. I ain't trying to hurt, man. You can take that somewhere else. And I was deterred. I was mad. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. But I'm trying to contain it. But I wanna punch a hole through his face for real, you know. But I know I'm wrong. But I'm right with what I'm trying to do. But I'm wrong the way I'm doing it because it ain't my business. You don't get in other people's business in prison. That's rule number one. That can get you killed, or that can get you late, or that can get you some more time. And, you know, for something that ain't got nothing to do with you. You won't have enough problems come to you alone in your own bit that you won't have to deal with without incorporating yourself in somebody else's situation. You see what I'm saying? But I kind of like felt bad for him because he was like a homie from distance, but at the same time, and I knew he was young. And I was like, man, I felt like he was vantage taking the dude. So then I'm more or less trying to antagonize the dude now because I know I'm wrong. So I'm trying to antagonize him by the way I'm talking and hoping he get aggressive enough to come at me and I can put hands on him and be justified. So I started calling him all types of names and, you know, or whatnot. I'm like, man, you a pervert, man. He was like, what? I said, man, you a pervert, dog. You a pervert, man. What you doing? Yeah, that's some perverted stuff, bro. That's some. He's like, man, get away from my cell. I'm like, man, you a pervert, dog. I'm just straight up telling you, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you got to do to try to survive in here or try to prey on a little young dude that you see the dude whacked out and lost in his mind, if that what you got to do, dog, what you ain't getting out? You ain't never getting out of something. That's what you into. He like, man, get away from my door, man. I ain't gonna tell you no more. I said, what you gonna do? What you gonna do if you ain't gonna tell me no more? What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I said, you's a pervert. You know, and then I'm loud talking so other people heard me. So now, you know, his pride involved. So he was like, okay, all right, go ahead, stay right there. Boom, boom, boom. He reach up, don't get his door closed. So when he get his door closed, I'm thinking he getting scrapped up. He get ready to come out here and come on with the business, right? Man, he get his door closed. He put his curtain up. But I'm out here and I'm ready. I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? I'm prepared if he come out here. I already size him up. Ain't nothing he can do but get hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's all he can do is get hurt. And I wanted him to get hurt, you know, but he ain't even come out. You know what I'm saying? He just closed his door, put his curtain up. He stayed in there for the rest of the day. When he came out the next day, I knew he was scrapped. I could see he was scrapped. I walked up to him by the microwave. I see you got something you want to tell me? He said, man, I'm going to tell you one time. Last time I'm going to tell you, man, leave me alone and stay out my business. So I looked him straight in his eye. I said, and if I don't? He said, just don't then. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, I know. I said, yeah, I stand by what I said. You a pervert. You know what I'm saying? And he just looked at me, grabbed his little coffee off the microwave, gave me a little smirk, and walked on back up to his cell. I left the situation alone. You know, I tried to talk to the little youngin' again. He won't trying to hurt nothing I was trying to say. I left the situation alone. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, he got a little youngin' turned out. Little youngin' ended up moving in the cell with him. You see what I'm saying? But I look at the situation in retrospect. I try to help him. I tried to get him out of the situation, but he ain't want to be out of the situation because the drugs had him. And then I know wherever he at to this day, he probably regret that situation because I don't think he was like that when he came in. If he was, I don't know and I didn't detect it. But it was a crazy situation that almost got out of hand for me incorporating myself in somebody else's businesses that ain't had nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? But like I say, this is what goes on in prison. You know what I'm saying? But you got to mind your business, you got to do your time, you got to do your bit, and you got to be worried just about you. You know? And that's just how it go. And like I say, this is the nature of the environment that we in. And you can't get in somebody else's business because, like I say, you gonna have enough problems of your own that you ain't got to be worried about nobody else. And it's a harsh reality, you know. And that's what I'm telling you, young fellas, while you out here on these streets, brother. I'm telling you, man, you better value this freedom and you better enjoy it and you better make the best of it. And don't matter how hard it might get, brother, it ain't gonna get harder, it's gonna be over there. It's not gonna get that hard. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Because you got your freedom, you got opportunities, you got ability to wake up and go change your circumstances every day while you out here. You do not have that in prison. Your circumstances gonna stay the same until them people say it's different. And you just got to get to the point where they say it's different, you know, and you can't compromise yourself in between. And if you're not willing to do everything it takes not to compromise yourself, do not go. Do not go. And don't let nobody talk you into getting into nothing out here that may put you in a position where you may go. Because they ain't going with you. And if they do go with you, they ain't going to be with you. Those two different things. Two different things, my bro. Trust and believe me, man. But I hope y'all got something out of this, man. I know I've been ranting and raving and going from here to there, but I just wanted to get this up out of me, man, because I want these young fellas to know the prison is serious, man. Very, very serious. Deadly serious. You know, every day, all day. You know, even when don't nothing happen that day, something might happen the next day. So, man, just stay up out of these prisons, man. Stay up out of these prisons. Stay free. Live your life. Make the best of your life. Make it happen, man. No matter how hard the grind, it's easier out here than it is in there. Like I always tell you, man, it's a blessing in every lesson. And I'm giving you this blessing so you won't have to go in there and learn that lesson. Y'all be safe out there, man. Be smart. Make good decisions, man. And stay free. Share this video to some young person that may need to hear it. Be safe. Be smart. Make good decisions. Boom! Duck that hook, man. Boom! 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 All of them.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.